So today we're saying hello to Sandisiwe Sebele. Sandisiwe, tell us whereabouts are you calling from?
I am calling from Johannesburg in the Midrand area, a place called Glenfinnes.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, in South Africa, and so Sandisiwe contacted us and then spoke to Claire, who is heading up all our admin and logistics in terms of booking students and a lot of also just personal assistant duties that fall within the South African Voiceover Academy. Claire is the person that handles all of our students. Now, Sandisiwe will tell you Claire is on it, and she is an amazing lady to work with. And can't wait really for whoever it is to also book an assessment with us and find out exactly, what it is you're getting yourself into. So what's happening right here now is Sandisiwe called and spoke to Claire and said, listen, before I book the course, I want to have a chat to Craig personally. And I want to hear from his mouth, what is the company all about? What is the industry all about? How competitive is it? How can I get into this industry? And I'm sure many more questions which we'll go over. These sessions are actually 15 minutes to half an hour. They don't really go longer than that. And if you're watching this now, you could just email Claire and check available times and also the costings on assessments, and you can just have a chat to Claire. So thank you very much, Sandisiwe. Just appreciate you, and thanks for allowing us to record this today. That's a massive give back for Savoa, because to use this on our socials is a very important thing for people just to it also validates us, and I think it also builds trust, and I think that's an important thing, especially in the game that we are, voice and all things voice, and how the voice can be used to manipulate and talk a whole lot of nonsense. So yeah, that's not why we're here today. So I think the first question you asked me, I think what I'm going to do is just close my WhatsApp before I do anything. I think it's make a dog noise all the time.
Okay.
So, Sandisiwe, voiceover, you see, you can look at it from 3 different angles. Either you're going to become a full-time voiceover, you have multiple agents on land, and you have multiple platforms working for you online. You maybe even have a team of people working for you, a secretary, maybe somebody handling the scripts, and then somebody like managing you, and it's just you, and it's your team. And because you book enough jobs, you're able to pay this team quite handsomely. So that's like more of like a full-time voiceover. Okay, and then you get like part-time voiceovers who they act, they hustle, they do voiceovers, they write, they may work for an ad agency for 2 or 3 years, move on to another one. They also do voiceover. And that's also a kind of voiceover. And then you get the guys who have their full-time jobs, 9 to 5. They've been in their jobs for like 10 years. They found they have a voice. Somebody says, hey, and a lot of the reason is actually, Sandisiwe, a lot of the reason is because people who communicate in their jobs, right, use their voice in their jobs. They don't realize it, but their voice is developing as they continue to use it in their company for whatever it may be, teaching. So there's these 3 types of ways you look at it. I think you could possibly create more, but then the third way is to go, hey, these guys that have the 9 to 5s have been working 10 years. And as I was talking to you about the development of the voice, your voice develops when you use it. And over the years, especially if you use it in a corporate setup for presentations or whatever it is, your voice will develop the way that you perform. And what's really happening is that your confidence is building. You're able to target, right, different muscles in your voice anatomy that you wouldn't otherwise be using if you didn't develop your confidence. So imagine that your confidence is directly related to the triggering of these new muscles and ways and techniques to control and compress the voice using your voice anatomy, right? And a whole lot of other things like physicalizing and obviously a deep, very deep imagination and deep thought and deep comprehension on scripts. That is really what it's about. And I think I'm already swaying to the left or right here, off the point. But no, but then nothing's off the point if it's about voiceover, right? So okay,
yeah,
so
yeah, it's all informative.
No. So I think that's the way you can look at it. Okay. I think that's the way you could look at it. Now you decide yourself, okay, which one am I going to be? Well, you have your job, that's fine. You may be the one that just like, hey, wants to dabble. You may just want to dabble. You're going to keep your job, that's great. Do that. I wouldn't say to anybody, cancel their job, take on voiceover and go, no, I wouldn't do that. But what I would say to you is that it is voiceover has become far more accessible because it's now including localized accents from different regions, even like within a country. And so what's happening is that like in South Africa, they'll say, hey, no, we want someone from Joburg or from Cape Town and then it'll be like Joburg Zulu, Durban Zulu, it'll be like Xhosa from Cape Town. And so it's all mixed. Like it's brilliant. And that means more accessibility. It's not just this crazy thing, with this crazy performance voice anymore. It's nuanced and it's authentic, and people want to, they want to be sold to, and they want to hear people selling them things that they can relate to,
I understand.
I think that's, so I think that's like really important to note, and I think you also have to know, like, there's limits to what you can do, but it's all up to you and how confident you are because there's a lot of things you need to look at, like, can you read well? Are you good with people? Are you interacting with a very talented director who's over the top and charismatic and trying to get the best out of you, not being offended by his or her ways?
Yeah, take criticism.
Or not take criticism, be able to play the creative game on a creative journey with your creative director, with a copywriter or whoever's directing you. You build together, you create a puzzle together. It is a puzzle, and you create it, and you get the tone first, and then you're like, okay, that's a nice tone, maybe less volume. You just try less volume. Okay, now it's sounding a little bit too raspy and dramatic. It's sounding too raspy and dramatic. Okay, so you want something more up here. Yeah, that's great. So I want something driving, like the Rugby World Cup 1995. Like, okay, great. So less gravelly, more hard sell. Okay, nice. And so you find your tone together. It's a creative journey. It's a process. Don't think like that it's always up to the voiceover artist. It's not. You're also you have a team of people to help you get, some of the best voiceovers I've ever done have been because of like the voice director, like 100%, or the creative director, absolutely, or the producer, absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. Jonathan Vonke, unbelievable, also creative director, just like blows my mind. Writer just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Having worked with him, just the challenges of having worked with him was just like, absolutely ridiculous. And what happens is the director brings these new lessons. You learn. That's why it's like going to school. Every time you go to a new session in voiceover, you go to school. It's like going into class, brand new class. You're learning something new because you're always going to be asked to do something new, a nuanced version of this, that, and the rest. You'll be like, you're going to be asked to be outside, shouting from a mountain. Then you're going to be in space. Then you're going to be underwater. Then you're going to you all of a sudden, now you've got to act like you're a manic person talking to a psychologist, and then you've got to act like, so there's a lot. It's not just selling, and it's not just being authentic. Well, although I say that, but voiceover has moved towards a more authentic space, and we
Yeah.
are showing people and teaching people that, and it's very difficult. People always want to perform. They don't think their voice is like they don't really,
The voice itself is, yeah.
they don't really like truly believe that their own voice is likable. So they perform, and then they come with this learned melody, and it sounds so red and schooled, and it's just not, it's not authentic. It's not authentic at all, and you can hear it. So I think that's like a super important thing to consider. And also, I think a major thing is like where you're, so don't fool yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and think, okay, like a question a lot of people ask me is like, hey, so I have a voice, and I have a beautiful voice, but I don't know how to change it, to modulate the voice correctly so that I'm getting a desired result for the message of that company or the product or whatever it is. So I'm not able to evoke the right emotion from this read from the listener because my voice, I get it in my head, I hear it in my head, but I can't perform it. Now that's where the training comes in, and that's why it's so important that you get trained by the right people, by the right establishment, by the right company. And to not throw like a sales pitch in here, this is what we do. It's our core business. We obviously also have an agency division for our talent. So when we train our talent, we obviously find talent, and then we then represent that talent. And that's why our clients are always excited about our new voices that are coming through. And this is why also we're learning a big lesson is that these localized accents, people come and speak an Ikasi accent, bro, in an ad, and like for soap powder. So it's no longer by Omo. No, it's, hey, Chan, did you see the new Omo product on your wall? Yeah, bro, you got to get it. And that is because that's the reality of the situation. So guys, check this out.
It's more relatable.
100%.
Yeah.
People believe you when they relate. Otherwise, it's like, hey, man, this is like selling to me. Okay.
So, and no one likes a sales agent.
No, nobody does. So for $4,000, I think just over, it's I think it's like 4,100. 4,100, yeah. Okay. Including VAT. That's not plus VAT, but that's including. We've just become VAT registered. All our prices have increased because of our VAT registration, and now in December. So we are now so that's why our prices have increased. And that entitles you to 10 hours of training in our Johannesburg or Cape Town studios on a weekend, on the first weekend of every second month. Our first one is coming up now on the 5th and 6th of February 2022. Everything from the affected and non-affected voice to pull out scripts. We'll supply you with script booklets. We supply you with your certificate on completion of the course as well. You also have these like crucial hours behind the microphone. We teach you to use the microphone properly, headphones, teach you about the industry, marketing your voice. And then these demos that we do with you, you walk away with 3 exclusive demos in hard sell, medium sell, soft sell. You can even do corporate reads. We'll teach you about all the different types of reads that there are in voiceover. And what happens is it's quite nice. You're exposed to this in front of peers, in front of people. And, it really feels like you have creatives, like in a real environment. It really feels like you have creatives and people suggest things. And so you're tested, you're chucked right and you're pulled right and pulled left. And you're going to ask yourself multiple questions and say, hey, well, can I do this? And wow, that was a difficult ask, but someone's going to say, hey, you're going to do this. And I'm going to say, hey, can you do this? And woo, guys, come on. And I think that is when you test your boundaries, you push them, you break through the barriers, you encourage yourself to go and become successful in it. That's really what this is about. The industry is available for everybody. There's not just like, can you modulate your voice? What languages can you speak, Sandisiwe?
So 100% fluent in, so my parents are actually originally Zimbabwean. So they are Ndebele. So I'm 100% fluent in Debe, which has also helped me in isiZulu because it's basically the same language. So I could basically say I'm 100% fluent in isiZulu because I also took it as my first additional language throughout high
Brilliant.
school.
You could probably
And
read it as well. Eh?
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
Well,
I
then
can.
that's
Not as fast.
yeah.
Maybe sometimes just have to
It's fine.
practice, but
No,
I
it's
can
fine.
definitely read it.
It's fine. Would that be Joburg Zulu or Durban Zulu?
I would definitely say Joburg, but if need be Durban Zulu, I could try because we did learn, you know, the phrases, the deep language, and from my home language, I do know a lot of the phrases.
Brilliant.
And, yeah,
No,
but the
that
accent
sounds
maybe not as much. But yeah.
okay. No, because that will be important.
Yeah.
You said producers will pick that thing up. So that's why I always say to somebody who comes and says, "Hey, listen, I've got a vernacular language I can speak. I want to add it to my voiceover portfolio." I say, "Yeah, but listen, are you 100% certain that this is a voice that you can perform? Are you 100% certain?" Because they'll get dialect coaches to come in and they'll pick up, "Hey, this person's not true Zulu, or this person's not," and that's when we get into trouble, you see, because we put demos forward and the person says, "Hey, no, I can speak deep Zulu." Meanwhile, hey, you actually speak Joburg Zulu. So no, anyway, but this is a good point. I think that's what we're all learning. And I think that's what learning is for. I think you come to the right place at Savo, and we can also, which is what I promised you earlier. Remember, I said I might give you a little bit of an interactive experience. I'm going to do that now, and I'm actually going to share my screen with you. Okay, so there we go. Welcome to, that's you. I'm going to call you Sunday, just to save space. And I'll call myself Craig. There we go. Okay, great. Now I'm going to make these tracks a little bit bigger. Right. And then put this guy down as well. Okay, Sunday Siwe, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and get a script here first. Okay, so you won't be able to see the script as yet. You can only see. In fact, what I'm going to do is stop the sharing. I'm actually going to share my entire screen with you. That way, I think that's better. You'll be able to see everything. Cool. So here is a script booklet. Okay, so Sunday Siwe, we have this script here for Dry Ice, and we're going to change it from MVO, strong, deep male voice. We're going to put an FVO, a female voice, and make it beautiful. So we're going to let me read the script for you. Maybe you can just follow me and check it out. Summer is here, and the outdoors is beckoning. So birds chirping, nice sound effects, nature outdoors. It's quite, think about how you feel when you go outdoors, birds are chirping, you feel relaxed, you feel hopeful, light and happy. Hey, okay, so what is that doing for the voice? Okay, what is that doing for the performance? And think about the projection and energy of being happy, being relaxed, being hopeful, being like, oh wow, man, I feel so amazing. Okay, Dry Ice. Okay, let me ask the question. Planning a weekend away? Dry Ice International's range of dry ice products is the ideal solution to keep perishables frozen on your planned hiking, hunting, or fishing trip. Dry ice is 7 times more effective than water ice. Dry ice keeps fresh food cool and your perishables frozen for up to 7 days. Our food-grade dry ice is easy to handle and leaves no residual dirty water in the container. For all your dry ice requirements, visit dryice.co.za. Notice I left that www out. Dry Ice International. Dry Ice International. Food grade dry ice. Dry Ice International. Food grade dry ice for all your outdoor activities. So there we go. All right. So let's see what you can do. But what I'm going to do for you is I'm actually going to record you. So there we go. Just say hello.
Just say hello. Sandy.
Just say hello.
I am here with Craig.
Thank you.
Hello.
Let's listen.
And I am here with Craig.
Okay, that's great. So I'm recording you nicely this side. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go rolling and you can read that. Go for it.
Okay. Summer is here and the outdoors is beckoning. Planning a weekend away? Dry Ice International's range of dry ice products is the should keep vegetables frozen on your planned hiking, hunting, or fishing trip. Dry ice is 7 times more effective than water ice. Dry ice keeps fresh food cool and perishables frozen for up to 7 days. Our food-grade dry ice is easy to handle and leaves no residual in the container. For all your dry ice requirements, visit dryice.co.za. Dry Ice International, food-grade dry ice for all your outdoors activities.
Well done. Very, very well done. Back. So you got through that. So there's your, there you have it. You read a voiceover script. Let's play it back and let's give you some direction.
Okay. Summer is here and the outdoors is beckoning. Planning a weekend away? Dry Ice International's range of dry ice products is the idea to keep vegetables frozen on your planned hiking, hunting, or
we lost connection there, but it's fine.
Fishing trip.
I think
Dry
so.
ice is 7 times more effective than water ice. Dry ice keeps fresh food cool and perishables frozen for up to 7 days. Our food-grade dry ice is easy to handle and leaves no residual in the container. For all your dry ice requirements, visit dryice.co.za. Dry Ice International, food-grade dry ice for all your outdoors activities.
100%. Well done. Now take a look here. What happens if I said to you, like, hey, it sounded like you're like in 3rd gear. Imagine I asked you to push it up to like 4th gear.
Okay.
Imagine the flower was closed, the sun rose and the flower opened, and it was like, hey, wow, what a beautiful day. And so then because of that, your mouth is open, the airwaves are open, the diaphragm is open, you are excited. Let's give it one more read and compare now after I've given you this direction, and also just watch your inflections. I noticed you sounded quite surprised.
Handle and leaves no residual in the container.
There's no residue in the container.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Okay.
Let's have a definite because of conclusion on that melody. So at least no residual on the container. Not container, but container. Don't go up with your inflection on container, go down, container. Okay. Just a note. Okay. So here we go. And roll it. We're gonna roll and roll. Here we go.
Okay. Summer is here and the outdoors is beckoning. Planning a weekend. Dry Ice International's range of dry ice products is the ideal solution to keep perishables frozen on your planned hiking, hunting, or fishing trip. Dry ice is 7 times more effective than water ice. Dry ice keeps fresh food cool and your perishables frozen for up to 7 days. Our food-grade dry ice is easy to handle and leaves no residual dirty water in the container. For all your dry ice requirements, visit dryice.co.za. Dry Ice International, food-grade dry ice for all your outdoor activities.
Very well read. Very well read. But the problem is, no. You read it like it was a corporate read and not a radio ad.
Okay.
So you read it like a corporate read and not a radio ad. So also it's 45 seconds long. This is a 30-second ad. So you gotta find a way to skim 15 seconds off of that. Okay. What else I find is that your read on this is quite mechanical and it lacks modulation and believability. And so because it lacks modulation, it lacks believability, because in order to, like I'm doing now, like in order to really get your point across, you've got to mix up your melodies and they've got to make sense to the human brain. Okay, so when you are reading and there's no emotion in what you're reading, and it's almost coming across, as I said, corporate or even newsy in some instances, then what happens is we lose the listener, and that's not, we need to evoke emotions. And if we're just getting pulled faces, it's not going to work. Okay, so for you, mix up your melodies more. Play, or people would say more light, and some people would say more light and shade. Okay. If you were looking on a piano and you're playing 3 notes, that's what you do. Like extend it to like 6, 7 notes, 8 notes, a whole octave. Use the whole octave. Authenticity. Okay. So yeah, hey, there we go. So thanks so much, Sandisiwe. It's been nice spending time with you.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, man. And I'm going to get this video edited and see what I can do with putting it out in the socials. But thanks so much. I appreciate spending time, and I hope that you get in touch with Claire
Thank
like
you.
ASAP.
Yes, definitely. I'm interested in the April class,
Cool.
and then take it from there.
Do it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Sandisiwe.
much, Craig. It
Cheers,
was
and have a
very
good one.
nice, informative, and
Thank you.
yeah. Okay.
I
You
appreciate it.
too. Okay. Bye.
Thanks, bye.